Jesus made the way. And when he did, I mean, that was the biggest vote for humanity from God himself, you know? God demonstrated his love in this, that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. There was not one of us at all alive at that time begging him to do this. It's always been in the Father's heart to be a redeemer, right? He knew we were going to mess it up, you know? He knew we were going to mess it up and we didn't have any other way to get back. Now listen to me, there's no other way to get back. Only Jesus. That's why he had to die. If there was another way, it wouldn't have gone like that, you know what I mean? He picked us. Everybody wants to be chosen, right? Everybody. Because we know what it feels like to not be chosen. We know what the other side of that is, rejection. Anybody experience rejection in this life? Ooh, leaves a mark on you, you know? I remember being a little Big Daddy in elementary school, you know? So you call the fat kid in school, you know? Yeah, I remember being in like the dodgeball line or whatever, you know, getting like picked to be on somebody's team, and everybody's like, that guy's too good of a target, you know what I mean? It's like, so it comes to the last one, and finally it's you're the last choice, and it's like the obligatory, like, come on, you know, like that. Everybody knows what it feels like to be rejected, right? I mean, I remember as an 18-year-old, can you even remember when you're 18 years old, for crying out loud? 18 years old. Did you know that Ann Wilson is 19 years old? I just blew some of y'all's mind. That's for real. That is for real right now. So what I'm really saying is, I remember back when I was close to Ann Wilson's age, I remember falling in love for the first time. Anybody remember that feeling? Oh, the euphoria. She was a singer, and I was the guitar player in the group, right? And I finally got up enough courage to tell her how I felt. And then we were going out. I don't know where we were going when we went out, you know what I mean? But it's like we were going out. That's just I remember telling everybody. I was wearing my family and my friends out, telling them about her. And the group came close enough to play so that all my friends and family could come to the concert. And man, when they met her, oh, they all loved her just as much as I did. Then I was on cloud 9. We've been dating a few months, and then we got to travel close enough to where all her friends and family were going to come to the show. And I just knew meeting them was going to be just like her meeting my people. Anybody got a feeling that trouble is on the horizon in this story? Every good story needs a good conflict, yes? When we met her family and friends, she hadn't told any of them about me. Y'all need to realize there are good surprises and there are bad surprises. I'll say I was more on the end of the bad surprise spectrum, you know what I'm saying? One of the nights we were there, her parents sent her out with a book, and in it they had underlined all the reasons why their daughter could never date, but especially never marry an overweight guy. Man, and that was it. That was like, you are dismissed, you know what I mean? I was wrecked, man. It crushed my heart. I was terrified of that ever happening again, you know? So when you develop a wound like that, the wound develops a voice. It begins to inform you about stuff around life to try to protect you from whatever created the wound, you know? So I would never ask anybody else out, even if I thought they were cute or godly or whatever else, you know? No other girl. Flash forward to where Big Daddy Weave's getting together. Things are kind of looking up for us, you know? We make this independent record, and record labels, record companies start finding out about it. And then we got an invitation to go and meet with a record label called Fervent Records out of Nashville. And so I remember my little brother Jay, who who has played bass for us for years, you know. He and I were loading our stuff up on the 9/11, actually. So we got up, we watched the whole thing happen with the Twin Towers. We felt that awful feeling that settled over, I mean, gosh, our nation and our world, really. You know, the unsettled feeling. And then we drove to Nashville to meet with his record label. I remember going into the Green Hills Grill in Nashville, Tennessee. Just as I walked in the front door, Michael W. Smith walked right in front of me and I nearly fainted, y'all. I was just like, you know, got no Michael W. Smith in Pensacola where I'm from, you know what I mean? He really is one of America's 50 most beautiful people, man, you know? It was amazing. I went to the table where the record label was waiting on us, you know? And there at the table, I saw the prettiest girl I've ever seen. My heart stopped, but then my wound spoke up and said, you got zero shot with her, big fella, you know what I'm saying? So as it turns out, that dinner went really well. We ended up signing a record contract with Fervent Records. And that young lady that I thought was so pretty at the table, she actually became the marketing director for the record label. Her name's Candace. And so I had to spend a pretty good amount of time around her, actually. And the more time I spent around her, the more I liked her. You know what I'm talking about. So one day I finally got up the nerve to ambiguously ask, you know, just theoretically now, you know, would you ever consider dating a Christian artist? Of course, I'm talking about me. As it turns out, I didn't know the rest of the folks from the label had been giving her a hard time about this guy who sang in another group. And she thought I'd been put up to this question by them and thought I was talking about this other guy, right? So she emphatically answered like, no, I would never date a Christian artist. I'm saying, would you date me? She's answering, I will not date this dude named Shep. You know what I'm saying? Communication had not occurred. But because of that, I thought the whole thing was off the table. I got to just relax and be me around her. And man, I got to be such great friends with Candace, I started telling her all kinds of stuff about my life, you know? In fact, I even kind of took an interest in this other young lady, and I was telling Candace all about it. How I was spending like time and money and effort, and none of it was working out. It was a waste of all of it, you know? And one day my friend Candace called me back shortly thereafter, and she said to me, I'm glad it's not working out with that other girl. I was like, that's not very nice. And she said, because that might ruin my chance with you. The prettiest girl I'd ever seen picked me. Y'all, there's a 2-week window of opportunity in Nashville, Tennessee, when balding, overweight worship leaders were in. I closed that deal quick, fast, and in a hurry. We have been married 16 years. We have 3 children. And when we go out anywhere and somebody discovers that she is married to me, people start giving their hearts to the Lord right then. They're like, God is real. It's a Saul to Paul transformation, you know? Everybody wants to be chosen. Everybody wants to be chosen, right? And listen to me tonight. The person who matters the most in the entire universe picked you. That's where the cross was, you know? And now it's up to us to RSVP, amen? Has anybody received that in this room tonight? Is anybody a born again believer in Jesus? Listen, then that makes us family, amen? In this room, we are family. And God left us on this planet for a reason. when he died for everybody, he could have snapped his fingers and made everybody know what Jesus has done for them. That's not how he did it. You know how he wants to get the word out? It's you and me. He left us on the planet with a great commission to go into all the world to tell the good news that he has chosen us. Amen. My question to us in this room is, how are we fulfilling that commission? How is it that we are telling, not only here, but telling all the world about this good news? If you don't have a way that you're doing that, I've got an amazing idea tonight. Just after Candace and I got married, before we had our own children, we actually sponsored a little boy through World Vision named Baba Yetu. Baba Yetu's from Tanzania. It was a game changer for us. We began, he came on a little packet. We saw his face for the first time. Our hearts were like moved deeply. As we sponsored him, we began to correspond back and forth with him and hear about his life a little bit. Some years into it, World Vision gave me an opportunity to go and meet Baba Yetu in person. We got a picture from that. Can you show us the picture? Where we're showing pictures tonight? You see it? Directly behind me. All right. That was a lot younger weave right there. Look at that. A hairless weave. Baba Yetu, just a little guy at that point, dressed in the native dress of his people, the Maasai people, the proud people,